The first thing I'd like to show you is some new assembly options in the Unfolder tab of the configuration. Down here in the bottom right, we now have the ability to set how many unique parts we look at a time when we're filtering through an assembly. So when you import an assembly file and click the assembly button, it'll give you 10 windows at a time that you're working with and programming through 10 different parts at a time. Once you finish those 10 parts, you click the assembly button again. It'll give you 10 more parts from the assembly to program. So you can set how many parts and windows you want to work with at a singular time using this setting. Additionally, there's some assembly filtering rules that can be applied now when it's doing that assembly split. So for example, on an inventor part, if you want to look for a file property that contains the value sheet metal and import that way, or for a solid edge assembly or part file, look for the file extension equaling PSM, which is solid edge's sheet metal extension. And SolidWorks, for example, if there's a property, for example, called bends, and you just want to look for if it contains the word yes, and those are the parts that you want to program. You can add as many as you'd like, so you just click the add button here, select what CAD file format the rule is for. So you can have as many of those as you'd like, and you can even create collections. So if you have one customer that models a certain way, you can create a collection for them. If you have another customer that models a different way, you can create a collection for them. So that way you can apply different assembly filters for the different parts and assemblies that you're getting in. So let's take a look at that in action. I've got a solid edge assembly here. It's got a bunch of different sheet metal and non-sheet metal parts. So we'll go ahead and open. And it'll import the full assembly here, you'll see. But then as I do my assembly split, underneath the assembly, I have an apply filters toggle. So just toggling that on and then doing my assembly split. Now it'll give me 10 parts, because that's what my setting was for, all matching that assembly filter criteria. So only sheet metal parts in the case of this solid edge assembly. And I can go through and program each of the 10 parts, then open up another 10 parts and just work my way through the assembly that way. This also works in the batch manager tool as well. So the batch and remote tool can apply these assembly filters to assembly files you add to the batch. So it's only programming the parts within that assembly that you'd like. And that's all there is to it.